Earth is a beautiful place to live. It can be harsh as far as like the climate and the elements, but it's a beautiful place. Although sometimes it feels like we're living in a hell realm. So where is the hell? Well, a lot of people would say it's in us, like the suffering, but I wasn't born per se suffering like that. What it was other people. And I don't even think other people are necessarily trying to make each other go through hell. Unless they get vindictive like that. But it starts out innocent, I think, even though we're not perfect, but you can still be not perfect and innocent, It's crazy how, like, with the whole religious ideologies, like people will go on the extremes, like weigh God and all this and come to all these conclusions of what God is because of some text that someone wrote with all these ultimatums threatening us to obey if we don't, even though they're not present except for within us. And it's just crazy. That's why we go to the extremes. But we're creating our own, or just the society as a group creates suffering because people don't see and appreciate each other. That's what I see. Like a lot of like the two relationships I had where I was really in love with the person, really appreciated them, they just fell out of appreciation for me. It's like they lost respect for me or something. Like, that's a little more extreme, but it's like that happens, and that's so crushing. That is a hell right there. It's like it's like respect and value someone, and the chemistry, the synergy, it's like between you two, and then it's like the other person just kills it, just murders it. Fucking devastating. For years, it hurts. For years, it causes depression. I wouldn't be self-medicating if I didn't need to, but I'm not masochistic and I don't want to be suffering all the time. So I take things to help me, which do help me, and it's worth it enough, even like dealing with withdrawals and stuff. The withdrawals still pale in comparison to the pain that is there. And I just let myself feel it now, because that's like the only way. But it's not the way I would choose. It's not the way of my consent. We're subjected to this and each other, who are also subjected to like manipulation, coercion, and exploitation, extortion, all those things and more. And I think it's dark entities possessing people. That's just what I think. A lot of people think that's stupid, but I don't think we're actually as evil as we make each other out to be. We're all naive and ignorant and come to conclusions about stuff, to make ourselves feel safe or secure or whatever you have to do. I have repose in not knowing. That's fine. But I think it's something in us that's causing the hell that we experience, that we feel. Because I think who we are, it's like the pure consciousness, like the intelligence, the sentience, is the closest thing to God that we know, and that is within us. And so I'm saying that we create heaven in this hell realm where it's like we create heaven and hell, I guess. Like, this is hell, this is heaven. It's like, what a blasphemy or a travesty to believe that God is so immature that he'd punish his own children for eternity because they didn't obey, when he wasn't even present enough for them or have adequate mentorship for them to actually No, it's reason over faith. I believe in actual grace, actual unconditional love that exists. I don't claim to have it, like maybe I do, but I just don't know it that well, because everything here is conditional. Like, how can you love someone if you're like incapacitated? And it's like basically your love is just a feeling, but you can't like do anything to engage or be present or help because you're like dying of your own like whatever. That's why people have to be of a healthy disposition in order to like really show love and be present, emotionally available, and care, to have value, to have a sense of wonder, like with other people. And the loss of that has created a hell. You know, another thing on a side branch, I was thinking about this yesterday. You know, the internet is a scary place. Like, if anything, that's the devil's playground nowadays. That's the devil's palace, you know. And it's because of the lack of humanity and just all the insipid ads, and it's just like the information they're stealing from us. That's one thing. But the thing that's really scary is that they can deep fake. It's like anyone that they don't, it's like that they want to like destroy their lives, they can with a deep fake. They could just say it's like create what looks like evidence that this person was a thief or a rapist and then like killed themselves or something, or was a drug person. And so that's like the scariest thing. And that's why I say I don't give away my faith to things, because unless I can really trust, and there's so much untrustworthiness here, I don't want to believe something unless I actually witnessed it or like know with my own senses that it actually happened. I don't come to conclusions about things. And there's horrible crimes that happen, and yes, we want justice and like need to hold people accountable, and yes, like we should. But it's hard for me as like a third party or something that didn't actually witness it to really know like what happened and who's behind it, you know. So that's my little bit for today. I really hope that as we evolve, we can evolve from this dominator society, archaic, just taking advantage of people, to a partnership society, which is alive within the smaller communities. Like people who are actually present in each other's lives and support each other and to help each other through these difficult times. You know, one more thing that's really crazy that just happened is it's like, well, you know, there's been this influenza that went around that I got really sick and had some friends who got really sick, and a good friend who's like a brother to me who actually died from it, and he's just a couple years older than me. And when I got sick, it was, I'll tell you, it was like 2 or 3 times worse than COVID, at least for me. It's like you get to this point of the pain, and it's like you're declining, and you're like, you know, if this thing kills me and takes me, it's like, fuck you, you know, like, and you just get to this point of acceptance. It's like, fucking take my life if that's what you want. It's like you already, it's like ruined it and ruined me in enough ways. Like, I'm not of the disposition that I want to be. I am a positive creator, architect of things. And, you know, imaginative. And that's the beautiful realm that I like to be in. And here we're constantly disrupted, and there's this resistance, and there's just this, it's like forgetfulness. Like, we get anesthetized here. We get like downtrodden to point of losing hope, of losing heart. And it's devastating. It's invisibly devastating. It's not like someone that got in a car accident and it's like obvious to everyone that, oh my God, that just totally changed and fucked up their whole life, you know? It's an internal battle. It's an invisible battle. Like someone could look like, you know, they're doing great on the outside. And then, you know, they, you know, end their life. If we live in a world where people are ending their life, their own life, there's a serious problem here. And there's like a lot of these new agers that are so meta or whatever. They're like, you know, this is just the Matrix. This isn't even real or whatever. I don't even like know what that means. It's like, what is real? What's your definition of real? Whether or not this is real or there's a more real reality outside of this that we're actually in, this is real enough. The pain here, like, it's how real does it have to be real, you know? Anyway, that's my rant. And I think it's very relevant and appropriate for, you know, the situation we find ourselves in. And I'd love to have more engagement on my channel, but it seems that like my channel is, if it, you know, par for the course, that it's just going to be an archive of my of my thoughts and anecdotes, and it'll probably live on past me, or who knows what will happen. Like, maybe I'll have a video that's so unhinged that, I don't know, who knows, that'll get shut down, you know. Anyway, that's it for now. See you guys in the next one.